What's good, everyone? It's Zigzag here. Welcome back to another Geoguessr video, and today we are playing a totally normal Zoom world. This is a map that hasn't been featured on the channel in about 6 months, but I remembered how fun it was and I thought I wanted to do another video on it. Basically, it always is super zoomed in, and you have to go off very little information and get the highest score or country streak you can. So the best score I've ever gotten on this map is 17,000, so surely we can shoot for 20,000 in this video. Let's just see if that's possible at all. No moving, panning, or zooming, no time limit. Let's see what's going down on a totally normal Zoom world. Wow, first one is a typical location for this map. Let's see if we can get in here and decipher anything. I mean, this is really difficult. The sun appears maybe to be to the north, so southern hemisphere may seem possible. And that's interesting, because my first thought was New Zealand. I could see like South Africa as well here. I'm going to try New Zealand, though. That was my first thought here. Really, guys, it's going to be hard to describe my thought process on a lot of these because, one, it's going to be wrong, and two, I really can't describe why I think it's New Zealand, but that this foliage feels a little bit like it. And it was South Africa, so my second thought ends up being in Stellenbosch. This kind of area is like the vineyard kind of area of South Africa, so obviously we're going to reset there, and we want that 20,000, which I don't know if it's possible, but okay. Next one here, we got like a quite Colombian looking mountains and quite a Colombian looking fence as well. So I'm feeling good about Ecuador, Colombia here. And if I'm thinking between the two, maybe I'll just kind of click central here so we get points as well. Chiapas. Chiapas is the Mexican state which looks the most like Colombia. It's also the closest one, so it kind of makes sense. But 1,300, obviously not enough. So let's reset here again and see if we can improve on that. Okay, well, this one's really quite easy because we've got a Portuguese number plate here. The blue on the left, the yellow on the right. That should always be Portugal, essentially. And we got Madeira here, so I would say that we're in the Madeira Islands, which are the Funchal ones. Yeah, okay, so I'd say we're downtown Funchal here because this feels like quite a big town. So can we 5K? We're on a fairly north to south road here. It bends up around to the north, so I mean, hey guys, I'm not the type of guy to normally go for these kind of rounds, but we can also see a parking place there, so this is definitely 5K-able. Here's a parking place. It doesn't look like the road bends quite right, but I mean, still possible, I guess. Can we see another parking place? I mean, this would just be such a sick 5K, wouldn't it? Something like this could certainly work. I mean, it really depends on the angle of everything here, but I might just go there. So let's just guess. On that one, ends up being 6.7, and that wasn't actually labeled. No, it wasn't labeled as a park, so it would have been a difficult 5K, but there we go, 6.7 kilometers away. A bit of writing, a bit of license plate helping us out there. That's a good guess. Next one here is definitely more difficult, though. What could I say about this mesh and fence? It's pretty confusing, if you ask me. I couldn't even tell what camera generation it is, so there's really nothing going into this guess apart from a bit of vibes, and Italy came to mind. We could try Italy. Let's go Rome, Italy. Or I guess it's quite close to us. So let's go Naples, Italy, and see what it is. Ends up being in Japan. So yeah, I mean, that pretty much says everything you need to know about that. And all of a sudden, 20,000 is looking extremely unlikely. This feels, though, maybe like either... Why are the two thoughts I have? Kenya, Ghana, or like Bolivia here. But I think it's actually Ghana. This pole here seems quite Ghana with these connectors like that. So I'm thinking of going a bit north of Kumasi here. Maybe Taikman. Let's go there. Ends up being a pretty decent guess near Accra there, so not a bad one. Next one's difficult. This architecture feels quite Asian to me. So I'm thinking of like Philippines, Indonesia kind of deal here. Quite dry. Probably more Indonesian feeling then. Could even see like Sri Lanka or something. But I'm going to go, not Bali. Let's go on one of the Nusa Islands here. And it ends up in Korea. So I did get the Asian vibe, but not much else. So clearly this one is not going to be some kind of high score. But I mean, that's absolutely fine. Our next one here, we're driving right. It kind of reminded me of North America, but the road condition and the fact that it doesn't have any lines really reminds me of Eastern Europe more. So for that reason, I'm thinking maybe just Bulgaria or something like that because it's quite leafy. But maybe even a bit further north if I was thinking North America. So maybe we could hedge it in Hungary here. I could see it's being quite Hungarian. It's quite flat, but obviously we don't see too much. So let's try that. And it ends up being in Ukraine, so not a bad guess. So 12,700 is definitely a decent effort. I mean, we've got the continent most times there, 4 out of 5 times, so pretty decent there. And the Italian round was just about as impossible as you could probably get. But this map just creates some really interesting rounds, so I hope I can improve here a little bit. That looks like a North American number plate through the trees here. It feels quite short. Otherwise, I may have been tempted to go maybe even like something in Northern Europe, but I think that probably feels good for North America. And I thought of like Tennessee, Kentucky, but it appears that it's probably the front of the car, at least from what I can tell. So that would probably mean we go for further north here. Ever up here? Maybe not. Maybe Wisconsin is a good hedge because it could also be just like Ontario or something like that. I'm thinking of just going for that. Let's try it out here. And it was actually just in Quebec, so not a bad guess. 2.6k, we'll take it. What's going to be next? Next one is a... I don't know, it feels European though, doesn't it? It could be South America in some of the older parts. It could be like Lima or, you know, capital city in South America. But I think Europe makes more sense. White architecture, maybe Greece or Portugal. Portugal came to mind, maybe Portugal or Spain. So I think I'll go Lisbon here. Let's try out that again. Ends up being Sri Lanka. Wow. I can see it, but we'll reset now. We obviously want to get a better score than that. Really interesting, man. Next one here. Ooh, tropical. I know that this map has like a lot of locations in kind of tricky spots, so I'm wondering if this could be like British Indian Ocean, like territories out here, wherever they are. Yeah, there. Or like American Samoa or something like that. I distinctly remember getting an American Samoa round on this. So I don't think this is the same one, but I think I'll go for American Samoa here because I think I've definitely seen similar kind of climates there. So this could probably be on one of these islands here, I imagine. Let's see. Okay, not too bad. It was actually Cocos and Keeling. Exact right latitude, actually, those two, but nothing apart from that, 21 points. Okay, we are looking at here something European, I would say. European-looking fields. And maybe Hungary could make sense again here. A bit of winter coverage, so maybe even Slovakia or Czechia or something like that. Could even just be Italy. But I like this hedge. It feels good. And it ends up being in Hungary, so my second choice, or my first choice, but the one I went back on. This is interesting. I thought like Dakar, Senegal, but I actually think this kind of, this brick here wouldn't quite make sense. So maybe like Dakar in Bangladesh, why not? It would be hilarious if I got it correct, so I feel like I'll just try it. It does give me a bit of an Asian vibe, that flower motif, but yeah, I couldn't really say too much. And it was actually Jakarta, so just another capital. Not one called Dakar, unfortunately. So we'll reset. Even though we had a decent start, I really want to get like some good score on this map overall. That would be really sick. This should be like Sweden or Baltic or something like that. Kind of like Sweden. It feels quite southern, so let's just try it. And it will be Poland, which is not bad. 3,000, okay. Next one here. Sri Lanka. Or maybe something in Southeast Asia. We've got like a kind of palmish tree here. These leaves feel quite Asian, but I could also see South America, I guess. But yeah, I feel like Sri Lanka is really my first thought. Do I want to commit to that? I want to give it a go, man. It's probably just going to be something else in Southeast Asia. This is a really risky guess because it's so far away from everything, but Asia's huge, and we are correct. 52 kilometers away. Can you believe it? Wow, that was just pure vibes. There's nothing to say, bro. I just thought Sri Lanka. This is Europe for sure. Italy or France, maybe. This kind of great feels a bit French to me, but maybe this feels a bit more Italian. Could even be Eastern Europe. Could even see like a capital city in Eastern Europe as well. So why don't we hedge it a bit? Let's go like Venice or something like that. Feels like a reasonable guess with that architecture, does it? Ooh, not bad. It's actually in Ceuta, so which is part of Spain in Africa. So we've got the wrong continent actually, but I was pretty sure that it was Europe and just a European country elsewhere. Okay, this one's pretty easy. Like when you see like very green, red soil, and they're talking about God on lots of signs, then that should be somewhere in Ghana. They definitely do that on a lot of signs in Ghana, and this landscape makes sense. The red dirt, the palms, fairly hilly, so I'd say somewhere between Accra and Kumasi could make sense here. Might even be feeling like South Coast. I'll try that. Are we correct? Yes, what a guess as well, bro. Ooh, this has been a seed. What are we on now? We can break our record here. We can break our record with a really good guess. We got like a pine tree here of some kind. I thought of like Spain, maybe, but maybe it's a bit too forested. Obviously Spain doesn't have a huge amount of forest. Maybe Greece then, in that case. If we wanted to play the numbers game, which we certainly could here. Greece probably has more trees overall, definitely. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe Greece here. It feels like it's kind of on a hill, so that would also make sense, Greece being super hilly. I'm going to give it a go. Let's see if we could be correct about that. And it was actually Uruguay there. I never would have gone Uruguay there. We ended up with 14,000, which is very respectable. I'm really nice on Ghana and super nice on Sri Lanka, all things considered. But let's keep going. I'm having a great time. This map is just such a fun, just such a fun little map. Like, definitely worth giving it a try if you haven't. But okay, this one, we've got like vineyards, and we've got like California style pole here with the 3 yellow dashes, with the 3 yellow like brands on it. So I would say Bakersfield tends to have like I feel like it's around there a bit further north where you have like a lot of vineyards, I would say. I'm trying to think. Grapevine there. So maybe it is just kind of in this area. Maybe I'll just go there, and we shouldn't be too far away here. Ooh, really nice guess. 70 kilometers away. Very nice. Yeah. Good to know your wine regions in countries like US and Canada and Australia. Well, maybe not Canada, but Australia and US and South Africa, for example. Here we are in Senegal. I can tell that just based on the like kind of haze and this kind of vegetation. It could still be Nigeria, possibly. I would definitely take Senegal here. It has like a Sahara kind of vibe here, but of course that's also Sahara in Kano as well. I would probably go fairly far north here, but just north of Tuba seems fine, and it ends up being a good guess. 119 kilometers is definitely nothing to be sniffed at. So we're on a really good score here, and the easier rounds continue, because this one should be somewhere in Czechoslovakia. Maybe feeling Czechia more so here, but could easily be Slovakia, so I feel like I'll just kind of hedge it and go kind of in this region of Czechia here, and it ends up being all the way in Hungary. I was kind of confident there, but we still get a good amount of points for our efforts, so yeah, I guess yellow houses, not as common maybe in Czechoslovakia, but yeah, I was pretty confident, so that's just my skill issue there. And the next one is another forgiving round, but where is it though? Is this Tunis? Is this near Tunis with the hills to the north? We're on a big separated highway. This kilometer marker should be distinctive to me, but I just don't remember which one it is, unfortunately. Would be lying if I said I did. Could be like North Macedonia still. It looks like we've got like a bollard inside the guardrail there, which is probably like something that I should know, but could still just be Spain. Is Tunis actually wise here? I don't know. Like, maybe North Macedonia is actually a better bet. It's kind of a strange round. Man, but if it's Tunis, I'll be really annoyed. But I feel like I should actually go for more mainland Europe here. I think it's more likely, like, there's not that many hills in Tunis, so we'd really have to be, like, and I think the road angle's kind of wrong. Like, more of the road angle where we'd be seeing this would be more, like, running, like, that direction. So, I mean, would be running this direction, right, instead of that one. So, yeah, I'll try this. Let's hope it's not bad, man. Oh, what a guess. 25 kilometers away. That is beautiful. Wow, we're on such a stonking score here, man. Look, we can get 22,000. We can get 22,000 here. Can we? Even more, maybe. Yeah, wow. Okay, let's try our best here. This is not an easy round. A lot of small blurs. Oh. Okay, think, Oscar. Is this, like, some bamboo or something like that? I feel like this is distinctive, man, but I'm just blanking about what this could be. Let's run through all our options here, because we're on such a good score. This could be Philippines. I don't really love, but Indonesia I quite like with this kind of vegetation. I could see something strange in like Colombia or Mexico. Mexico and Colombia seem always to be an option in rounds like this. Even Europe is possible here with these bushes. Like, it's just really hard to get a perspective on what's actually going on here. But maybe Indonesia is safest, I could say. Kind of like a dry Indonesia. But then again, not many places in Indonesia are that dry. I could see like a Sumba here. That would really make sense to me. But that's such a random guess. Like, there's probably only like one location in this whole map that would actually be there, if you know what I mean. And we risk it all if we go there, because if this ends up being like Ukraine or something like that, then we just lose all points. But I feel like I should go for it. I feel like I just want to follow my heart here and make it an insane round. Not that it's particularly likely, but it would just be so cool. Yeah. Anything else coming to mind? Not too much. I could see any number of things here. It's probably somewhere I haven't mentioned. I can say that. But let's give Indonesia a go. And it was indeed Romania. So I did mention Ukraine, but it was not indeed a country I hadn't mentioned. It could have been safe to just go Europe, because that was so random that it was like kind of the type of round where like it could just be anywhere. But man, we could have really gotten a 23,000 there. That would have been actually insane. Instead, 18,300 is pretty cool, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. And yeah, it's our best ever score. So we'll keep going here, but who knows if we'll be able to recreate that kind of success. That was pretty cool. Okay, next one is just like some things inside the snow here, some like rocks inside the snow. I want to go for Canada here. No particular reason, but let's try it. And it will actually be Antarctica. Probably a logical type of round, but glad we had that round 1. It would have been a sucky round 5. This is North America, kind of a southern vibe to it, maybe. We don't see any front plates, but we don't see any lack of front plates either. I thought of like Louisiana here, but maybe it's actually probably further north, really. I should just go for a hedge here. I'm gonna go for like, let's go for Durham, North Carolina. It ends up being Chicago, actually. So, outer suburbs of Chicago, they're not a terrible score. Next one, we'll go quickly. Like Spain or Italy, I think. Yeah, these kind of look like eucalyptus in the background here. These leaves kind of remind me of Australia. So, I'm going to guess Spain near Portugal. And not at all. Actually, probably was eucalyptus, but just in Chile, which makes sense. They also grew that sometimes in Chile. So, not the best guess, but hey, we're chilling. Next one here, this is gettable. Probably Brazil, and probably quite southern. We actually got blue strips on the plates, and we're driving left, so I was completely wrong. In which case, where would we be? Probably with white rear plates, actually has to be Ireland. It's not what I thought at all, but I think, in hindsight, I can see it. So, yeah, we're on some kind of like big north to south highway here. Let's actually pick someone that fits for the fun of it. Let's go north of Dublin here. It ends up being near Gort there. Not too far away from Limerick, so 4.5k is pretty good. Next one here, impossible, surely. But, oh, okay, so we got like very green, like, trees here, and in the background we've got like a very, like, brown dirt. So, I thought of like kind of this region here as a possible place, so I'm just going to try it, and it ends up being pretty decent in Turkey, not too bad. For the type of round it was, that's pretty good. This is just Israel with the yellow plates, so this is a freebie. Basically, if you see like a kind of dry climate with yellow plates, it's one of the only countries that comes to mind. And, well, there are exceptions, but if it's like kind of feeling wealthy as well, I would say that's a pretty good meta. And this is Europe again, European style of like sign here. Thinking of maybe not Poland. There are plenty of countries that it can't because they'd fill that in yellow. For example, like Slovenia would definitely fill that in yellow. I would say this could be like Slovakia though. Slovakia seems possible here. It's quite dry. So it could just be Serbia as well. I feel like Slovakia is always a good hedge, right? Because, like, you know, there are plenty of places nearby, so it just could be any of these ones. And it ends up being just in Czechia, so not too bad. Definitely sister and brother country. Definitely makes sense. Okay. We can still break the 20k here with a really good guess. We got ferns, which really help. I was just UK, actually. Brambles and ferns, it really doesn't kind of remind you of like a Geoguessr straight line mission. This kind of feels like that to me. So I was even thinking Scotland here, but it could just be Wales, Ireland, England, any of it. Let's go like southern Scotland here though. And, wow, Italy. Okay, I was really I talked myself into being a bit confident there, but we still, I think, break our best score again maybe there. So a very like Europe heavy seed, which benefits us. And the hedges definitely work. So 18.5 there. I think if in doubt, going Europe when you don't know is not a bad idea. Okay, we'll do a few more here. This one, maybe Mexico. Maybe Mexico. Yeah, I'm just going to try Mexico here. I can see a lot of places where it could be, but we'll just try it. Ends up being in Brazil. Makes sense. I think I would struggle to go Brazil there, though, unless I could see the pole better. Winter coverage here. These kind of trees. It's also hilly as well. Sweden was the first thought, but if it's so hilly, then it's probably elsewhere. And I just don't know where to put it. It feels like Generation 2 camera, though, which is interesting. So, Generation 2 snow coverage. Where? I mean, I could think of Italy. Has some of that, probably. What else? Generation 2. I'm not really sure what this is, but I think it's Europe. France? France has a bit of Generation 2 snow coverage. Let's go near Geneva here. Oh, it's actually in Andorra, but that's not a bad guess. Bordering country, not too bad. Okay, we'll take it. Next one here. I mean, that was a really difficult round for what it was, so yeah. Dirt road, corn growing, and then like distant kind of hilly village. Obviously, Europe is possible. I really would quite like to go Ontario or something here. We have like a whole bunch of like big apartment buildings in the background, it seems. And basically, most people live in houses in Canada, not apartments like that. So, I mean, that's what I'm getting from it. I think it's apartments and a bit hilly. So, maybe, well, it looks like North America, but I think I'm going to trust the apartment buildings and pick a country where that's quite common. So maybe Romania. Well, not really. Romania is not really one of those countries. Maybe Albania. Albania works, I think. Yeah, let's go for Albania. Apartment buildings, corn, dirt roads. Let's see it. Not too bad, Serbia. Actually pretty good. Actually pretty good. Next one here, store. Looks like the kind of thing that they hang on like an Indonesian store here, like a cigarette ad or something like that. So I would say this is probably there. It actually is a bit of English there. Drink responsibly, which is interesting. So maybe it's actually Philippines, if we have a bit of English like that. Given that that's basically our only clue here, I feel like I should probably go for that, but yeah, I guess so. Well, my instinct is Indonesia, but I'm going to go against it and say that because of the English, we're going to be somewhere in Philippines. And let's just hedge it south in case it's Indonesia. And it ends up being north in Manila, but not too bad. Next one here. Dry, like a bit of grass. Yeah. Could say like Mexico here. What really goes into a guess like this, though? Like, it's the sun is definitely north, so it's southern hemisphere. Okay, we can take that. In which case, maybe Argentina. Don't really like that too much. Brazil feels okay. It's quite dry. Like, I still think it looks more like Mexico than Brazil, but we have such little information to go off of here. Why don't we actually just try Bahia, Brazil? And it was actually in Taiwan, so not only was the sun incorrect there, but it was something I had not mentioned whatsoever. So we'll restart that. And let's go for one more real attempt. Let's get one more good seed in here. This one's a good start. Feels like South Africa. Felt quite like Botswana, but obviously Generation 4 camera. We can't be there. So I'm thinking of just guessing somewhere near there. Why don't we go right here? And it ends up being, yeah, not too far away. So 4,100 is a good start. Next one is basically impossible. I think we'll just go quick here on Philippines. And it was actually, yeah, in Hawaii. So definitely not really gettable, I think. I would say it's not really gettable. Unless I thought of that for some reason. Okay, this one's a Uruguayan signpost. Very thick, white, painted. Quite hilly here. So why don't we just go in this region here where you have a lot of hills. Ends up being a good guess near Montevideo there. Okay, next one. Hilly Brazil or New Zealand or UK came to mind. Brazil I can rule out because of this nice looking fence. Ireland, UK, New Zealand still in play here. Would say that it's probably more likely to be Europe here, so I feel like that's probably a better shout. Just gonna go like Midlands or kind of Northern England here. Yeah, Northern England could be a good shout. Whoa, it's just in Scotland, but that's a pretty damn good guess. I'm happy with that. Okay, next one here. Probably Korea. Yeah, we got Korean language. Big apartment buildings, a lot of brick. A lot of brick makes me want to go further south. I don't really know if that's a real meta at all. But when you see like big apartments like that, Seoul, Daegu, maybe Daejeon, maybe Busan, make a lot of sense. I think Daegu is a good hedge here, though. I'll try it. Ends up being Busan. Yeah, I thought one of these two were more likely, so that's a really good result. We're on a huge score here, and we have maybe a very similar round, looking around to that previous round that we had in Hawaii, but this one is not there, I don't think. Well, could be. This one, yeah, not so sure what I think of this. Very dense, very like rubber trees here. Maybe like even Thailand, southern Thailand or something like that. Could make sense here. Rubber trees, a lot of those, very green as well. I'm gonna try that, man. It's what came to mind. This can be so many places. Let's just try it. Sri Lanka, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. We'll take it. Right latitude, kind of right region-ish. And we're greeted with also a difficult last one here. I would say Argentina is most likely. Again, Mongolia. Was that a yurt? Could that be a yurt, actually? I mean, I love this map because you start to think about the little things, but that could be a yurt. Unless it's just something completely different. But I'm going to try Mongolia instead because of that yurt, believing that it actually is one. And not bad. Okay. So that's an 18,600, which may actually be, again, an upgrade on our best score. But let's take a look at that. Was it indeed a yurt? So here is the round we're looking at. Yeah, I think it was, man. I think that's exactly what I was looking at. Someone's yurt there. Wow, that's an impressive round in many ways. So let's actually head to the main menu here. And yeah, that ends up being our best game. So what a nice way to end it off on a high note with a really, really nice guess. Guys, thank you very much for watching all the way to the end. Let me know if you want to see me go for a 20,000 on this map. It's certainly possible, you just need the right seed. So yeah, give the video a like and subscribe if you're not. If you haven't subscribed, why not subscribe? If you made it this far in the video. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in a video soon. Catch you later. Goodbye.